This is Bike Trails Podcast with Christina and Alan. We hope you enjoy listening. Okay, Christina, it's the next day, and yesterday we rode 118 kilometers in the baking sun, mind you. It's not just regular sun, baking sun. And what did you think about that?
Well, I thought it was a very long, extended, dry sauna stay. And I thought that I understand now why triathlons or desert runners try to practice in the 60-degree sauna to get their, condition and fitness going, because this is how it was yesterday.
Yeah, that was pretty far and hot. So I've ridden one time 130 kilometers. This was from Landshut to Salzburg several years ago. And I was friggin' destroyed when I got to the Salzburg train station. I was only able to run in and take the train home. Yesterday, we were pretty wasted by the time, we got into Passau. And the last bit of Passau required us to climb the hill underneath the dome to get to our hotel. And at that point in time, I was just dead. So, what do you think about these long etappes, these long stages?
What do I think about them?
Yeah. Do we need more of them or less of them?
I think your answer would be, we just need the right amount.
Exactly.
And for yesterday, it was totally fine.
Yeah.
And I felt better than expected.
I did too.
I was completely tired, and I was so happy then to eventually sit at that Italian restaurant place.
Sure.
But I could have felt even worse, and I didn't. But I don't need it more than like every 2 weeks, maybe, when we are on a bike trip. So I'm happy that this was the longest distance now, and that we did this and it's over. But nevertheless, it was a beautiful landscape we rode through. I mean, I do remember that when we came to those Salzburger Seenlandschaft, and I did not know about this, that there were so many lakes. Like, first we crossed through Seekirchen am Wallersee, and then we went to Obertrummer See, and I think this was the one, or was it Matsee? I don't remember, that had these Caribbean-like turquoise colors, and
That was really surprising,
that
actually.
was super surprising.
Yeah.
So just seeing that photo, people would think, oh, this is at the Adriatic Sea, or this is in, Spain somewhere, or even in the Caribbean Sea.
Sure.
It was fantastic. And the real sad thing was that I couldn't jump in every single lake they had, because it was sometimes up to 40 degrees on the Wahoo, because we were almost riding in complete sun. And I don't know if I got in this meditative short before dying state, or if I really thought that the colors of the lakes have never been prettier.
I didn't see any lakes. Were you hallucinating?
I think you were not able to look left or right anymore because it was so hot.
It just pounding away. Yeah, it was quite nice. For me, I think the distance was fine. I think I remarked to you during our ride that if this had occurred on like day 2 or day 3,
we would be dead.
We would have been finished, because we did, 800 something meters of climbing this day. It was quite a lot. And that, with the distance for us, there are road bikers that go out and knock out 1,500 and, a road bike, but all they have is their sunglasses and a bottle of water with them. And so we're loaded down with the luggage and, our old age.
And we are leisure bikers.
Yeah, exactly.
We are not super fitness bikers.
But that was very good, that we've gotten stronger over the trip, and that this actually was not too big of a deal for us, except that one hill where we had to hike a bike. And I think it was like right next to the train tracks What did we mark it at? 18 or 19%? Oh, there was a sign that said 18%.
It was 18%, and they had barriers at the beginning and
Three
at
of
the
them.
end.
And in the middle.
Yeah. And I mean, the barrier was not very wide, and to
couldn't
navigate through this while going up, it's not possible.
And clicked in.
Yeah, and clicked in.
That would have been a
So this is why we hiked the bike
medical
up, and this
tragedy.
was the right decision to do.
Yeah, that was good. But then when we got to the top, there were like these two lovely old ladies on e-bikes just going, okay, let's go down now. And I'm thinking, what the hell?
Yeah, but they for sure got up at the barriers.
I think that they're locals, so they know about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ride was quite good. I think the bike setup, for those that are interested, is I have a 1x. This means a single chain ring in the front, and in the back, it's a 1142 cassette. And for me, that was just plenty, right? 3242 to climb hills with luggage, and me, that's been totally fine this trip. There hasn't been a time where I thought I needed a little bit more. And yours, I think you have a 2x GRX 810, so you have a 30 in the front and you get 36 in the back, 1136. So have you been able to climb everything, no problem?
Yes, I have, but I wished to have like a mountain bike gearing system sometimes, but well, this is how it is, and I came up every hill so far. I mean, very slow, and although I was very slow, but I didn't have your shifting system. I had to overtake sometimes, but not because I really wanted to go first. Otherwise, I would have somehow gone backwards or just fallen off the bike, clicked in, because going under a certain speed, going up with my brakes shifting system just doesn't work anymore. Yeah. So I felt very powerful.
And you're lighter, and your bike is lighter than mine, of course.
Yeah, my bike is lighter, but I have more luggage than you. I haven't weighed it, but I think I have like
You don't have more luggage than me, but in weight standpoint?
In weight, I think I do.
No way. Impossible.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I have 3
I'm carrying
bags.
like metal tools and stuff, and
So I haven't weighed it, what I should have done, just to know. How many kilos do I have, do you think, on my bike?
We should do this on the way back at home. Maybe we'd make a video about our
Because
equipment.
on that day, you had an extra 1.2 liters of
we bought water strapped it to the front.
Because it was so hot, and we strapped it in front. And we also recharged our water bottles at 2 different cemeteries on the way, because there was no other way to get water.
So pro tip, cyclists in German-speaking areas, there are lovely cemeteries everywhere. Germans and Austrians love to have their beautiful cemeteries with fabulous, headstones and flowers and stuff. Well, to maintain all that, you need water. And every cemetery has like a water hose connection somewhere inside, and it's typically ice cold. So it comes right from the ground. So find yourself a cemetery and fill your bottles.
Yeah, this is what we did.
Yeah, and that worked out really well. And so for me, I think it was a winning day. Absolutely a good cap to, I think that was day 10, something like this. So, that was a good cap, because we had a couple days off. So it was about 2 weeks at that point in time that we were gone. And I felt like we got stronger, and we had, a good ride.
For me, the last 10 kilometers were really hard somehow. It was where one would see...
I agree with you, yes.
The German border, not, because it was in the middle of the Inn River.
Right, so we're riding along the Inn River to the northeast, and the German-Austrian border is in the center of the Inn River. And so we were looking across the Inn River, and we would see buildings, monasteries, little towns, and we're like, hello, Germany.
And we would think the Germans really wanted to tell the Austrians how great they were.
Something like this.
Why would they build a beautiful cemetery high up on the hill,
I don't know.
I'm not so sure from when that border is exactly. So we would have to look the historic details up.
I think the German border crosses the Inn just before Passau and Innstadt. And this is where we came down this long hill.
And the Inn River was at some parts, at least what we could see, because we were riding along a forest area along the Inn River, but it was more like in Auen. I don't know the English word for it, but it's like where the Inn River is super wide and it has sandbanks or stone banks, and there were a lot of birds to observe and birds' families, and it looked more like a really natural, wild nature area, beautiful to look at.
It was more like a watershed area.
Yeah, it was, and it was super beautiful. And
it was a big change from the Inn River we passed many last week, which was fast moving and perfectly clear.
Yes, but the Inn River from last week was also artificially straightened and put into its not natural channel. Yeah. And this part where we rode along yesterday was much more natural and much more beautiful. So I'm very happy to have had that experience.
So since it's the next day and we've had a chance to look around Passau a little bit, why don't we talk about that? So Passau is an incredible town. It's really a must visit, I think. You only have one problem visiting Passau, in my opinion, is that you have to compete with the tons of older travelers that come off the river cruise boats. They empty the boats like opening a can, dumping the contents of the can on the table, and somehow you have to, mix in with this.
It's a human flood.
It's a human flood of people, yes. Honestly, I thought there were more younger people than I originally anticipated. I saw a lot of younger people, like, 40s and 50s even.
Yeah.
Normally, I thought this was all like pensioners,
You mean coming off
on
from
the ships?
The ships?
Yeah.
Really? I did not see that.
I did. And
I
the city tours.
People over 60. This is what I saw coming off from those ships.
And a lot of the tours were in English. Did you notice that? Maybe
no.
I just hear it because of my...
I think you heard it because of your...
English radar.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but nevertheless, we walked up to that beautiful Oberfeste.
Big castle across the river, yeah.
Castle, super great views. Super nice restaurant with Augustiner beer on the top.
Oh, yeah.
Where you could really wind down, relax, have an overview, and enjoy the beautiful Three Rivers city of Passau.
So let's talk about the Three Rivers. So on the south side is the Inn River. In the center, on the north of the Passau Peninsula, is the Donau River. And then coming from the direct north out of the hills is the Ilz, I-L-Z. And if you go there, you'll see that each of these rivers actually have a different watercolor. And it's pretty striking when you see this. The Inn has a very light color, and then it progressively gets darker as you go from the Donau to the Ilz. The Ilz being very dark, very, very bluish, blackish, and the Donau being in the middle. And then when they all come together, they kind of stay apart for a while, and they kind of flow down together in their three different color bands. And only after quite a ways do they actually kind of mix together.
Yeah, and this is the beautiful magic when standing at the tip of the old town.
You can see this.
You can see this. And when we were there, it was not so easily to be seen because there were clouds.
And the sun was at a different angle.
And the sun was at a different angle. But when we were up at Oberfeste, and the last time we were here in Passau, it could be clearly seen.
Yes.
And what was really nice when we were down then at this Three River tip point of Passau, there was like a music festival going on, and the band was practicing for their
show,
show.
A couple hours before the show time.
And they had beer garden tables put up, and that was really cozy.
That was super funny. So we're sitting there at the beer garden tables. It's just an open area that's normally, I guess, a little playground or, a grassy area. So we're just sitting there playing cards, drinking beer, having a crepe with, Zimten sugar and whatever. And I asked you, I said, so the concert's going to start soon, and I think we could just stay here and maybe we can, we can sit on the same side and watch the concert together when they open the tent up. And you told me, no, they're not going to open the tent up because it's 35 euros to go to the concert. And I was thinking, are you kidding me? We're sitting, 5 meters away from the tent. So someone is going to pay 35 euros to go inside the tent and sit on a folding plastic chair. And I'm going to sit outside and drink beer and on a beer table and not pay 35 euros. So I don't know, were we even allowed to be in that area?
Yes, we were, because I looked it up in the internet and it said entrance to the beer garden is free.
Okay.
So
I feel like there's a flaw there in their plan.
You must be a huge fan to pay money to see people, although the music can be heard for free outside. I mean, I'm probably too cheap, but I would never ever do this.
Never me.
If I could sit in the sunshine in a nice breeze, looking onto those beautiful river connectivity in front of me, why would I go in an enclosed tent where it's hot, where there is no ventilation, where I probably would catch COVID somehow? Why would I do this?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a Kiss show. It's not having pyrotechnics and lights. It's just 4 folk singers standing on the stage.
During that day it was, but maybe I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But people were walking in, but we left before they started.
Yeah.
The concert, because I really wanted to have some Vietnamese food this
How'd that go?
Not at all. the guy there, the waiter, were constantly ignoring us for almost 15 minutes, although he said he would come, and then he would chit-chat around with good-looking girls. I mean, then flirting, you call it, and then he would not flirt, but chit-chat with other guys. And then I thought, am I a fucking nobody here? I mean, he said he would come and give us the menus. So I decided to leave, which was a very good decision, because instead we got fantastic Syrian food in a little restaurant nearby.
Farm to table.
And it was very, very, very yummy. Yeah. And the people there were super friendly, and the food was yummy. So
that kind of food I really think is underrated. You don't find it so much that I've seen here. So this is like hummus and tabbouleh and different tomato dishes and stuff.
Ölbaum in Ingolstadt has this kind of food.
Yeah, okay. Well,
but normally, and Munich had a couple of Syrian restaurants when I was studying there, but I don't know if they're still there. So that was super yummy and also super healthy, because that what we had was only vegetarian. Yeah. And they used fantastic spices, and it was very, very
Farm
very
to table in Passau. Find it, make it yours.
If you're there, just take the opportunity and have something to eat there.
Okay, Christina, we're at our maximum time limit for this episode.
And this
so
is
now
what?
We have to 18 minutes.
Okay.
We're within the boundaries of listening. Anyhow, that's it for today. And biketrailspodcast.com, where you see all the photos if you've made it this far. And until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow.